Now at 10, President Trump announces his pick for a new Supreme Court justice. Do you approve?
Because him coming into my life.
She promised the officer who saved her life as a child she'd wear the badge one day. Well, she's all grown up and kept her promise. And what's a dog doing swimming way out in Galveston Bay? We're hearing from the kayaker who saved the animal. New tonight, the wife of the man who drives this truck with the offensive sign targeting President Trump is furious after her husband was arrested. The couple made headlines last year after driving around with that sign in Fort Bend County. The husband was arrested for outstanding warrants and resisting arrest. Larry Seward talked to the wife tonight in Sugar Land. Larry?
Karen Fonseca admits her husband Miguel had warrants and had fines that he needed to pay. But how and why Sugar Land police towed the couple's pickup truck ticks her off.
That pickup Stafford mom Karen Fonseca drives, stickers swearing at President Trump and Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nils.
Sugar Land Police Department
is about to get new names.
They wanted to be assholes to me.
Sugar Land police arrested her husband Miguel Sunday for unpaid traffic tickets and court-skipping warrants. They say he also resisted arrest. When pulled over, he refused to get out his truck.
He was not resisting.
While on the phone with his wife, giving directions for her to pick up their family's only ride.
And I heard him on the line. They tried pulling him out of the car because he wouldn't turn the phone off. They didn't want me to come pick up that truck.
Karen Fonseca says officers refused to let her drive it home.
White people over left and right.
And towed it, all because of her stickers.
It's all fishy the way it all took place.
But Sugar Land police say the truck is in her husband's name, and with him in jail, they had no choice. And until Fonseca pays his $1,000 fine, he'll sit in jail. His wife feels wronged and plans to file complaints.
I've got a big mouth and won't shut up.
Even with her Free Miguel GoFundMe page collecting more insults than donations.
I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down from anybody.
She wears hate like a badge and promised new insulting stickers.
They're going on here too, and some magnets here.
On her truck's side windows and doors, calling out Sugar Land police and all 3 officers involved.
I want people to know that they can't get away with what they do.
A message she wants everyone to see.
Now, overnight, Miguel Fonseca will bond out of Fort Bend County's jail, only to be put back in jail in Sugar Land this time in the morning. A judge here will decide with time served how much Fonseca needs to pay to get his freedom. We are live in Sugar Land tonight. Larry Seward, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Larry, thanks. Breaking news tonight. An elderly woman was found stabbed to death in her home in Humble. Detectives just told us that a family member, Gary Jenkins, is a person of interest. Jenkins had been staying with the woman and was already wanted on a parole violation. Police are still looking for him. The 79-year-old woman was found this afternoon on Audubon Forest near Mesa Drive. Detectives now combing through home surveillance video. We'll update you as soon as we get more information. Well, tonight the wait is over. Here is President Trump's nominee to become the next U.S. Supreme Court Justice. And we'd like to get your take, so get your phones and vote on our KHOU 11 News app.
Tonight, it is my honor and privilege to announce that I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
Judge Kavanaugh is from Maryland, and here's what we know about him. He is 53 years old, married with 2 daughters, got his law degree at Yale. He has been on the D.C. Circuit Court since 2006. If confirmed, he'll fill the seat of a retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy, for whom Kavanaugh was a clerk after graduating from law school.
If confirmed by the Senate, I will keep an open mind in every case, and I will always strive to preserve the Constitution of the United States and the American rule of law.
Top Democrats feared President Trump's pick would put abortion rights at risk. But during Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing for the appeals court in 2006, he said he considered Roe v. Wade settled law and would not try to change it. The Senate is expected to vote on Kavanaugh's nomination in the fall. So here's your chance to weigh in. What do you think? Do you like the president's pick? We are asking in our informal poll. You can see the early votes coming in. Most of you, 73%, say you like the pick. Thanks to all of you who have voted so far. We'll have much more reaction on KHOU 11 News this morning, starting at 4:30. Right now, crews are starting day 3 of a dangerous rescue mission in that flooded cave in Thailand. 13 members of a youth soccer team had been trapped inside the cave for about 2 weeks. 8 of the boys have been rescued, leaving 4 left inside along with their coach. It is already Tuesday in Thailand, meaning it's possible the rest could be out by the end of the day. Now, here's how this dangerous rescue mission works. Each of the boys is wearing a dive mask as they enter the murky water. Very difficult to see. The children can barely see in front of them. They are led by a diver who is carrying their oxygen tank and guided by a rope. Another diver follows behind them. The entire journey covers 2.5 miles through deep water and steep climbs. The biggest concern, right there, a pinch point in the cave just 15 inches across. That's where the boys have to separate from the divers in order to reach a small patch of dry land before going back into the water. We'll keep a close eye on this and bring you updates online and on air as new developments come in. We are hoping for the best. Let's jump outside. A clear night after another day of heavy thunderstorms. Brooks, in for David tonight. Is the rain gone for the week? Please tell me yes.
I wish I could say yes, I wish. It looks like for the most part it's gone, but we may still have a couple isolated storms before the week's out. Certainly for tonight we're done. Just got some remnant high wispy clouds from earlier thunderstorms. For the night tonight, look for dry conditions tomorrow morning. Nothing more than a couple sprinkles, northwest side, weak disturbance. But during the afternoon, we're going to be hard-pressed to find anything. Huge change thanks to a ridge of high pressure nosing into the region that'll clear the decks for a day or so. 83 now, still in Sugar Land, 77 Bush, 74 Conroe. Cooling off. We're going to see temperatures about 88 degrees by lunchtime tomorrow, 30% chance for a storm, 92 during the afternoon. Coming up, we'll track some tropical systems, Len. Nothing threatening us, but very interesting to track.
Yeah, some good news there, thanks. Now for a look at some other top stories we are following tonight. The historic downtown building where the Spaghetti Warehouse restaurant used to be has a new owner. The restaurant has been closed ever since it flooded during Harvey. Most of the kitchen equipment and antique furniture auctioned off. A spokesperson for the new owners telling the Chronicle they plan to develop something in the historic building but aren't saying exactly what that is yet. In Wharton County tonight, all lanes of Highway 59 finally back open after 2 big rigs collided this morning. Look at this. A viewer, Brittany Holmes, captured the video of a tanker truck going up in flames. Those rigs collided in the southbound lanes between Kendleton and Hungerford. Both drivers made it out safely. Investigators still haven't told us tonight the cause of that crash. In Galveston County, 2 13-year-old boys accused of causing thousands of dollars in damage at Friendswood High School. Police say there are photos of the boys in action during the 4th of July holiday. They reportedly sprayed fire extinguishers all over the building, causing $7,600 in damage. Both boys tonight charged with criminal mischief. A new class of officers will soon start patrolling the streets of Galveston. Among them, a 29-year-old single mother who made a promise 2 decades ago to wear a badge. Tonight, Brett Buffington tells us why she made that promise.
This story starts with pictures. A young girl, her 2 brothers, in Kansas City. Not a single one with their single mom.
We lived on the streets, we lived at people's houses. My mom would be gone for days doing drugs.
It wasn't the best of neighborhoods, not the easiest start to a life. But today, this is Officer Kaylin Scales, soon to be on patrol, thanks to another policeman and his promise.
I really feel like he's my guardian angel and hero.
It's a dark memory, the 911 call about her mom's drug problem that connected her and this man. He's Kansas City Police Sergeant Jeff Colvin, and for weeks after he answered that call, he came back to check on a scared 9-year-old little girl. He promised Kaylin he'd do that every day.
I told him, I was like, I want to be a police officer, I want to be like you, and he was like, well, if you want that, the first thing you have to do is protect your family, make sure that they're okay, and do really good in school.
Good advice, not all this Kansas City cop had to give. He knew the address the night he heard this on his radio.
It was a DFS call when it came out, recognized the address, and went over there to help with the investigation and found her into that poor state.
Kaylin says it was this sergeant who got her to the hospital. There, doctors said she was so malnourished she was barely alive. After almost a month of care, the state got involved. The visits with her favorite officer stopped. Adopted, Kaylin and her two brothers ended up in Galveston County. It wasn't until just 2 years ago these two reconnected.
Told me that I was the only positive influence or only person that really seemed to care when she was a child.
So 2 months ago, when Kaylin graduated, becoming a Galveston police officer, she insisted that Sergeant Jeff Colvin be there to pin on her badge. He doesn't feel like a hero.
I'm not sure I saved her life.
Contradicted by his own statistics.
Most people would look at her and look at her 9-year-old self and basically write her off and say, well, this girl doesn't have a chance in the world.
What advice from one cop to another.
What a story. That's Brett Buffington reporting. Officer Scales says she hopes to be able to work one-on-one with kids who are growing up like she did. Tomorrow is the deadline to reunite the youngest children separated from their parents at the border, while the government says some children will have to wait a little while longer. A shocking sight in Galveston Bay, a dog swimming far from shore. How it got there and who saved it. And Texans love their Whataburger and Shiner, so are the two really coming together?